for 1999. North Sydney as per program. Sears is the fullback. Ben Aiken holds the key in the centres with Michael Butner in the 5'8" position. And that bench there is Stringer, Parsons, Fitzgerald and Mark Soden playing his final game. Scotty Petherbridge has plenty of speed and had a big game in attack against Melbourne last week at Bear Park.
Yeah, North still managed to put out a good side there. They've had a lot of injuries, but it's still a good team tonight.
Petherbridge, a former Penrith flyer, has speed to burn. Looks to be in a good frame of mind for this game. Looking forward to this encounter. A great atmosphere at Dairy Farmers Stadium as Noel Goldthorpe, the veteran skipper, leads out the North Queensland Cowboys. A couple of key injury concerns here. Greg Burke comes onto the wing with Noah Nandruku being ruled out. And also one change to the bench. Cole Warren has succumbed to a hip injury and Smith comes onto the bench in jumper number 19. That is Craig Smith making his first grade debut. Josh Henne, a young, exciting player, was picked for first grade at the tender age of 16 but was ruled ineligible at that stage by the ARL. Now he's back and he is a product up here and has been a very good buy for coach Tim Sheens. National anthem coming your way from Townsville.
Tonight's referee, Paul Simpkins, leading the team out tonight, the new Cowboys out there with member Taylor Howard, Brentwood and Naomi Lee team over at Kelso. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, could you please stand for the Australian National Anthem, performed by Phil Maru and Joanne Casmar.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free.
We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing. Advance Australia fair.
As I mentioned, great atmosphere at Dairy Farmers Stadium. Quite a good crowd in the referee tonight. Mr. Paul Simpkins, the video referee. John Yarn.
A good chance for both teams to put on an entertaining match tonight. As we mentioned, they're both not in semi-final contention, so there's probably not quite as much pressure as normal. It should be a great match. It's a chance for the guys to get out there and just have some fun.
We are about to do that. Referee Simpkins signals time on. Players underway. The final round, round 26 of the regular season. Driven back in the opening tackle. The Bears with the hard work to do early on in this game. Larson, 24 consecutive Origin games for the Maroons under his belt until this year. That's Dane Morgan. He's made his mark in the most recent rounds for the Bears. Morrison, and the former Tiger, taken to ground. 35 away from his own line. Goddard finds Josh Stewart. Stewart just a couple of metres short of the halfway line. It'll go back for Taylor. Not a lot of room to work with. Gets the right foot kick away. The kick is spot on from Jason Taylor. Good set of 6.
Yeah, great start for the Bears. Coach Kieran Dempsey will be very happy with that. Plenty of yards in the first 5 and a great kick from halfback and captain Jason Taylor.
Joining us on the sideline tonight is Warren Boland and Jason Taylor on the mark early.
Certainly, Terry. North Queensland fielding an inexperienced front row in Pensini and Patterson. You'd expect North's Trindle and Stewart to try to dominate them, but as Steve suggested, this is the last game of the season. They're both down the bottom of the ladder. You'd expect them to loosen up and throw the ball around, but I think it's going to be the team that tackles tonight, digs in and tackles, that's going to win.
It would have been quite freakish. Morrison remonstrates.
Out too early. Come on, off you go.
And you heard the call from referee Simpkins.
That's right. I think they might have watched the Broncos last night when Canterbury picked up a try against the head, and really a similar situation here for the Bears.
I thought close to being play on there. That scrum screwing, but anyway, it's been found in favour of the North Queensland Cowboys. Goldthorpe, like Taylor, his kicking game will be so important to know. Through the hands it goes of Brett Boyd. Oh, big hit, far side. Ben Aiken fired up for the final game.
Yeah, that one was just a good shot. There's no problem with that. Referee obviously agreed with me.
Bingo.
Drifting, just got him by the collar.
3, stand up. All the way back.
Look far worse to the crowd here at Dairy Farmers. Young Scott Prince drops it onto the right boot. That's a clever kick. It's away from Matt Sears. Now the chase will have to be very good for the Cowboys. It is.
Good, set him up. Hands up here. Hold it.
Leading the way is Peter Jones for the Cowboys. Wade Horder, the grandnephew of the great Harold Horder, who played in the championship sides of 21 and 22. The last time the North Sydney Bears won the Rugby League Premiership, and Aiken
4, stand up.
picks up 5
Hands
metres.
up.
Back in the centres tonight, as he was against Melbourne last
Tackle,
week.
hands away.
Terrific to see Ben Aiken trying to get involved in the match early. Obviously he wants to finish on a good note for the season.
Taylor again gets onto that right boot, but they put some pressure on him. Well taken by Damien Smith and the former Dragon, 15 metres short of the halfway line. Jellick, who's been in sparkling form
Watch back.
in recent weeks, scoring that 95-metre try against Melbourne just 2 weeks ago here. As we mentioned, the Cowboys are yet to defeat North Sydney. 2 tackles left for the Cowboys. Goldthorpe kicking early in this tackle count. Sears goes across. It's well placed in the chase again. Prince. Well, Sears got away from Prince. The chase wasn't good enough. Sears, Taylor, he's got to go 60 metres. Will Jason Taylor have the pace? They're coming at him from all directions. Taylor, he's never run so far in his entire life. He's gone 60 metres. Jason Taylor, courtesy of Matt Sears, scores after 5 minutes for the Bears.
Yes, I'm sure Jason Taylor will be adding that one to his video collection. As you said, a great 60-metre try. Disappointing from the Cowboys' point of view. You see that's a great kick we've got down. They've nearly gone 100 metres, and the chase wasn't quite up to the mark. Sears slicing through there, and there wasn't much cover coming across on the inside. A very disappointing defensive effort there.
The quicker men were coming, and they were coming quickly. Most notably, Damien Smith-Warren.
Yeah, Matt Sears collecting this kick, which wasn't a bad kick, but he's away from Prince, and Peter Jones left a big gap between him and Prince, and away goes Sears. And Jason Taylor, not renowned as the fastest halfback in the game, but he sprints out here pretty well, and Greg Burke coming at him, Damien Smith coming at him, Jamie Goddard, in fact, positioning himself to take the pass should it be needed, but Jason Taylor all the way.
We'll hear a lot of that try. 60 metres from Jason Taylor.
As I said, I've got no doubts that'll be added to the Jason Taylor video collection. That'll probably take pride of place.
He's not missed a game since 1992. He's been a durable halfback. Swinging back, swinging back. 6-0. The Bears in front of the Cowboys after 6 minutes.
I thought the first try in this match was going to be important. I think it's a night for front runners. Matt Sears escapes the chase, not nearly there up to the quality of the kick, which was okay. But there he goes, over the 40, over the halfway, stretching out, wondering where they're going to catch. Look at Jamie Goddard. He's going just as quick on Jason Taylor's left. At a good run from a halfback, plenty of determination.
So important, Steve, when you kick. The 1, 2 and the 5 for the Bears are all very quick. The chasers, they've got to be there in numbers.
That's exactly right, Terry. The spacing was obviously too wide, just a little bit of a hole. The player in Matt Sears' ability straight through.
Positive start for the Bears. Prince made the tackle on Anthony Swan. Swan plays it back. He's played the one test match for New Zealand. The former Auckland Warrior in Trindle, running a little bit wider tonight for the North Sydney Bears.
Bit of a concern at the moment how much yards the Bears are making in the middle of ruck there. The Cowboys' defence isn't in order at the moment.
Final tackle again. Taylor kicks. Aiken is steaming through after this ball. They didn't get the bounce they were looking for. Brian Jellick just shepherding the ball over the dead ball line. It'll come back to the 20. Enthusiasm was always going to be a key to this game, and the Bears do look enthusiastic. They brought their boots. They're ready to play.
Yeah, they look great. They've had a terrific start. Got a try on. Their defence looks in order. The Cowboys look a little bit surprised.
Shell-shocked at the moment.
Shell-shocked, that's what I was looking for.
Paul Pensini plays it back. The decoy. Nick Patterson. When they last met in round 4, it was 26-18. That game was played at Lang Park.
That's right. You do get the feeling tonight there's going to be a few tries scored. It just makes it more important to hang on to the ball and maintain your completion rates.
Here comes Shiz. And of all players for the Bears, this man has been able to hold his head very high over the past 2 months or so. Petherbridge comes away. Had 4 line breaks last week against Melbourne. Morrison lines up and takes it forward.
The handling by both teams has been good in the early sections. They're getting through their sets, putting kicks away. Control's been good by both teams.
Gary Larson bustles his way into Cowboys territory now. Taylor on the short side for Aiken. Aiken tried to get the ball back on the inside. They clean up. Taylor made the cover tackle. Jellick, quick play the ball. Back it comes for Goldthorpe. Boyd for Prince. And slipping over Josh Hannay, the 19-year-old, 10 short of the halfway line.
The Cowboys have looked, well, we've got a penalty there, but they've certainly let us know early they've come here to throw the ball around, so it should be a great match to watch anyway.
They're keen to move the ball early in the tackle count, the Cowboys.
Yeah, if it's so early in the match, as you say, normally it's just a little bit more sorting out at the moment, but they're both throwing it wide on a couple of occasions early in the tackle count.
What can they do? This will be their best attacking position of the game so far. Only 9 minutes gone. It's the Bears. They lead by 6-0. Boyd with the long pass. Scott Prince is dangerous whenever he runs the ball and takes it to the line.
Craig Smith on the field for the Cowboys, going into dummy half here. He's from the Brisbane West Club. Followed Sean Valentine up here. This, of course, is his debut, though, Craig Smith.
Valentine also on the injured list at the moment. That's Nick Patterson. He only made his debut last week against the Magpies. Goldthorpe back to the open side. Prince looking for Hannay. He found Damien Smith. Smith! Oh, loses the ball. Greg Burke, in fact, who stepped back on the inside, and Greg Burke just went a fraction too early.
Yeah, disappointing result there. Obviously a set move from the Cowboys. The tries gone begging here. Some good play there. He looked to have scored, and we'll just have a look and see what exactly happened here. Oh, the defender knocked it out, so probably a little bit unlucky there, Greg Burke.
Yeah, Morrison was the player, and that ball came out in the action of making the tackle, Warren, so there was no stripping involved, and it was one-on-one anyway.
It was a good effort by Morrison. He may not have intended to strip it, but he was always going to make a wholehearted tackle.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to tell us he intended to strip it, Warren.
And he goes again.
One way or the other, he saved a try.
He did. Michael Butner for Josh Stewart. Back slam to the ground. 35 away from his own line. Goddard. Was there a little knock on? Jamie Goddard just reaching down, or was it in the play the ball? Josh Stewart.
Yeah, I'd like to have another look at this. I've got to admit I didn't think it was first up. We'll get a chance to check it here.
Well, just losing possession, Josh Stewart. Success rate of 54%, Tim Sheens. That statistic has taken a battering since he's headed north to the North Queensland Cowboys.
Certainly spot a few more grey hairs there too, Coach Sheens.
Smith plays it back quickly. Now to Damien Smith. That was Craig Smith to Damien Smith. Goldthorpe, short ball. John Manning, 5 metres away from the try line. The Cowboys with their best chance to score their opening 4-pointer. They've got some numbers here. Beautiful ball it was from Prince. Jeff Bell. There's it back, Goldthorpe. Will he do the crossfield kick? Here it comes. Burke leaps. Back it comes for Hene. Hene back to Smith. 6 to go. More pressure coming up for the Bears. No need for the Cowboys to panic here. They've got plenty of time. Goldthorpe shows it for Manning. John Manning, just 3 first-grade games under his belt. Decoy runners, and now the lock forward. Reaches out and gets over John Doyle, a metre short. Knock on by Prince. His hands just working not quite as quickly as the brain.
That's exactly right. One of those instances where he'd passed it before he actually caught it. Some good plays by the Cowboys there. They're certainly threatening the Bears' defence, but the Bears managed to hang on.
Cowboys 17. Josh, what they do next? What happened, mate? All right, from the last scrum, got up, a bit involved. Okay, the touch is watching you. Clear out of this one, okay?
John Manning and Josh Stewart,
You're on the 20.
as you would imagine from big burly forwards, just sorting each other out early on in this game.
Both smiling there, so they're obviously enjoying the occasion. That's the main thing.
Very good defence by North to hold out their own line for some 12-odd tackles there. But the Cowboys have got to make those final passes stick.
This will be the 3rd consecutive set of 6 now for the Cowboys. In fact, Taylor feeds it. Comes back for Aiken.
All the way back. Right here.
Morgan. Originally from the Holy Cross Ride College. Famous footballing school in Sydney.
3 on the 10.
The Bears struggling on the ladder.
In there, got him out.
15th on just 18 points with 7 wins, looking for number 8. 7 losses in succession until they broke that drought against Melbourne last week. Paul Stringer picked up a good 15 metres on that first tackle.
Yeah, I'm sure Tim Sheens, the Cowboys coach, wouldn't be happy with the ease the Bears are making ground up the middle as we see Gary Larson surging forward again.
And doing exactly the same. Picks up 10 metres. Taylor. Nice ball. Butner got away from 2. Taylor cut out ball for Ben Aiken. As Steve Walters mentioned, Aiken looking to get involved early on in this game. Taylor. Butner kicks. Well placed this kick. Plenty of pressure for Burke. Taken by Petherbridge. It remains the final tackle for the Bears.
These balls. Let him have it.
Well, you've got to feel a bit here for Greg Burke. He thought he got a pretty good grab at it.
Yeah, a little bit silly though. As you said, it was the 5th play. Probably better off he had him tackled on the ground. Get up and get set at marker there, and then he had 1 to go to hold out.
Taylor. Still hasn't made his decision. He has now. He'll go for goal.
Quite an easy decision, I suppose, if you can kick like Jason Taylor. Anything down in the opposition 20 metres is usually a guaranteed 2 points, and he'll be more than happy to take that.
Yes, even from out wide, he doesn't miss them at all. Taylor, though, probably not having the best season with the boot by his standards, still right up there in that 70% area. But I don't know, I think I might have kept the Cowboys on the rack and gone for this, the 4 + 2 = 6 points.
Yeah, Warren, as Steve mentioned, we probably are going to see a fair few tries tonight. Warm conditions, nothing to lose for either club, and they will throw the ball around. But obviously, if he thinks he can kick it, he's going to take the 2.
You may well just be saying, also trying to stress the point that the Bears have come here to win the game first of all, which is understandable, I suppose.
Taylor strikes this one. It's hooking back. It's going to hit the upright. It does. Is it try time? They've knocked on the Bears. We'll go to the video referee in John Yard, but I believe that Michael Buettner has knocked that ball on.
I'm pretty sure you're right there, Terry. At first glance, it did look like he knocked it on. A golden opportunity there. 4 points missed. We'll get a chance to have another look at it on the replay.
If it would have come off, it would have been a set play.
Yeah. Well, he just proved us all wrong, didn't he?
All the players have gone back to the 20.
Just the bounce of the ball, but it had alarm bells all over it.
To be fair to the Bears player chasing the ball there, I'm pretty sure he was focused on tackling the Cowboys in the in goal. It was only at the last moment. It's Michael Buettner, I think it is, that the ball did bounce out in front of him, and he was obviously trying to do the right thing and contain the Cowboys in the in goal area.
Exactly right. He had Brian Jellick lined up. All of a sudden, he found himself with a chance at a try.
He'll be disappointed though. I think he's already scored 14 tries this year. Could have added to that tally. That's a good effort from a team that has struggled at different stages of the season.
As we suspected, red light. This is Greg Burke. Boyd picks out his man in Glenn Murphy. His final game for the Cowboys tonight, Glenn Murphy. Mark Shipway, from a centre turn back rower. Good defence. Larson over the top. A right boot of Noel Goldthorpe. Wade Horder has Sears, but goes himself, and all taken a little bit high around the collar, says referee Simpkins. Brett Boyd, the hooker for the Cowboys, will get through a lot of the defensive work tonight. Larson. This may not be his final game. He's thinking about going around again next year, Gary Larson.
Been a terrific player for the Bears over the years, and it's obviously up to him to decide whether he can contribute next year, but he's been a great player for them for a long time.
High tackle. It'll be a penalty to the Bears.
We've had a couple of close calls up here. This one's getting the neck. We want them down, all right? Tackle's right down.
You'll have another look at this one here. Just a little bit sloppy from Brett Boyd. Probably warranted a penalty, but I don't think there's anything too serious in there.
No massive drama there, but it did warrant a penalty.
Nevertheless, Steve, tell me, why did Brett Boyd have to go that high? There's a lot of Steve Trindle to hit, and he was way above the ball.
Just one of those instances where your coach, you're obviously trying to wrap up the ball and stop the offload, and he's just a little bit off target there. But it does seem strange with Brett Boyd's height to get penalised.
Buettner, look at his acceleration. Michael Buettner, blink and you'll miss him. The Cowboys did, and they did miss him. Michael Buettner with blistering speed scores try number 2 for the Bears. It's 10 points to 0, midway through the opening half.
Yeah, Michael Buettner making amends for the try he missed a short time ago. We'll have a look on the replay here. Nice pass from Taylor, and Buettner with that magic footwork that he's had. Plenty of acceleration there. Seemed to be quite a few Cowboys defenders in the right area, but they just didn't have the pace to get him.
The wide pass from Taylor after a couple of decoys came in closer. They slipped the pass back. Stringer gets it back. Then Taylor flings it wide. Noel Goldthorpe came up too quickly. And Buettner steps inside him, and then you would have thought that he had to pass. Instead, he realised he could go all the way. That's exceptional pace from Michael Buettner. No wonder he scored 15 tries for the season.
He has always been blessed with pace. It's one thing you can't coach against.
No, he's one of those guys, if you're defending against him, you need to be right on your game. And Noel Goldthorpe will be a little bit disappointed with that miss there.
There was a time in his career, though, that Michael Buettner just increased his speed by quite a few percent. At one stage at Parramatta, I didn't think he was lightning, but all of a sudden he just put on the speed.
Taylor, 21 metres back, just 1 metre in from touch. 50% record tonight. None have been easy. This one the toughest. Will it hook back? It's not hooking back enough. And that scoreline remains here. 10 points to 0. The Bears in front. 20 minutes gone.
Effective set move from Norths after getting the penalty for the high tackle. And then Stringer just dummies to Larson, feeds it back. There's another decoy going through. It's Glenn Morrison. And finally, the long pass flings it out into wider open spaces for Butner. Beats the tackle of Goldthorpe, and too fast for Smith. Well orchestrated try by the Bears.
Steve Michael Butner, one of those players, he's blessed with 2 levels of top speed. There's quick and then there's really quick.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to describe it, actually. And he showed us both speeds in that last try.
Back again, here it is, 14. Hand up the ball, 17.
The Bears taking control of this game. Leading by 10 points to 0. 2 tries so far. Matt Sears, he set up the opening try for Jason Taylor. Goddard picks up 15 and gets the pass away for Swan. Swan, they need to quick play the ball here. Goddard goes short side. That's a surprise. He chips for himself. Final tackle taken safely back to the 20.
Yeah, disappointing result. A great set of 6 there for the Bears, but if Jamie had his time over again, I'm sure he would have put it on the ground for that one and tried to get a repeat 6 of the Cowboys. Warren, are the Cowboys players talking defensively down there? They seem to be making a lot of easy yards through the middle of the ruck, the Bears.
Well, there's a penalty going to the Cowboys. North's inside the 10. Hard to tell from here, Steve, because you know this Cowboys crowd makes a lot of noise. It's quite a great atmosphere. I mean, they really get behind the home team, but it's hard to tell from here just how much talk's going on.
The Bears are doing a bit of talking at the moment, and they enjoy what they see. The scoreboard, 10 points to 0. Chance for the Cowboys. Oh, again, Taylor comes away. Scott Prince, his second crucial handling error of the night. Trindle ducks under a high shot there. Morrison picks up another 10. Mark Soden is on the park, stripping in the tackle. They will pay the penalty for these minor indiscretions.
Hands in there and call them to get out. Whether he touches the ball or not, the hands are in the play the ball, right? All they got to do is clear it.
Another costly penalty. It's a little bit hard to pick up exactly what happened there. The referee was obviously of the opinion that the Cowboys players stripped it out.
Interesting point. Paul Green, who's on the field off the bench, went up to question the referee. So Green must be acting captain with Goldthorpe off the field, who was named with the captaincy.
So the acting captain comes off the bench in Paul Green.
And didn't get a run 2 weeks ago here.
Steve Parsons. Driving tackle, that one from John Doyle.
Yeah, great tackle from Johnny Doyle.
Butner, Taylor's second receiver. Sears back to the open for Parsons. He scored a try against Melbourne last week. From about this range, Mark Soden. Fitzgerald, Swan, juggles it, puts it down, and it will be a try. Anthony Swan gets a try number 3 for the Bears.
It's all too easy at the moment, unfortunately, from the Cowboys' point of view. Every time the Bears seem to get down there, they seem to score with relative ease. A nice little grubber here. Some good hands from Swan. It was a take. He obviously had a defender on him, but managed to pull it back down and came up with a 4-pointer.
The penalties are starting to hurt the Cowboys back in their own territory. Lovely little grubber and good hands from Swan. It was an awkward bounce. He was coming through fast and managed just to hang on to it in the tackle of Greg Burke.
And good hands the third time, wasn't it, from Swan? He had 2 grabs unsuccessfully. The third one, though, it stuck. Only just, though. In fact, on replay, it looks like he may have lost that ball.
He's got the 4 points, but that's a great example for any youngsters watching to keep your eyes on the ball, and he came up with a try as a result of that.
7 career tries, his first for this year. So Taylor would not be happy with that statistic. 1 from 3 tonight. Makes it 2 from 4. 16-0. 25 minutes gone at Dairy Farmers in very warm conditions.
Very difficult to defend against a kick like this from short range. Nicely placed in by Jamie Fitzgerald. Very delicate kick. perfect for Swan. He didn't quite get the bounce, but manages to hang on. But hard to defend against that. The Cowboys' problem is being down on their goal line in the first place, courtesy of a couple of penalties.
That's right, and they've struggled. I hope they can have a better set of 6 here. The Bears seem to make easy yards, and they're getting over the halfway and putting their kick in. So they need a good set of 6 defensively here, the Cowboys.
Soden puts his head down. He wants to become a referee when he retires at the end of this year, Mark Soden. He's already had a chat to former referee's boss in mixed stone in North Queensland. Well, only a 50% completion rate at the moment. They must improve on that.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it's one of those nights where there's going to be a lot of tries scored, and it's imperative you hang on to the ball and complete your sets, which the Bears are doing a good job of at the moment, and then coming up with the 4-pointers.
Josh Stewart through the first line, over the advantage line. Short side play for Mark Soden. Horder, Wade Horder taken to ground, 15 away from the try line. Aiken wants a quicker play the ball. Jason Taylor, that ball went backwards. Well, it went backwards, then it bounced forward, so it should have been play on.
I agree. It looked like it went backwards. Seemed like a tough call from Jason Taylor's point of view. I wonder how you can see a knock on there, but
Hold it still with no ball. Hold it still.
So the pressure comes off the Cowboys momentarily. Taylor's still recovering, I think, from that 60-metre try in the opening 5 minutes of the game. Now it's the Bears' turn to defend. Peter Jones. He missed most of last season with a bad knee injury. He's been good for the Cowboys this year, though, Jones. The Cowboys, 16th on the ladder. 13 competition points. They have been disappointing. A lot of money has been spent. Coach Tim Sheen's a brand new 5-year contract. Paul Pansini is a Cairns junior and the 21-year-old. Plays it back now for Goldthorpe. He has runners there and Paul Green. Bell taken on the far side. Back it comes Green, the bomb. What's the chase like? Well, Matt Sears, he was all alone. Home alone at fullback. The kick was too deep. Petherbridge.
Work it on. Hands up.
Warren is only small in stature, Matt Sears, but very safe under the high ball.
He looks very confident tonight, very quick returning that kick earlier on, which led to the Taylor try, and safe under that last bomb. He looks keen for a big finish to the season.
yeah, it's great to see him back to his best. He had a couple of terrific seasons a couple of years ago, and he went off the ball for a little while, but he's a great player to watch, and it's terrific to see him back.
He's in an acting half at the moment, Sears. Back it goes for Taylor. Taylor takes a couple of metres and then puts the kick in. That turns around from Damien Smith, who goes back to his goal line. Had Greg Burke there, but Burke now for Goldthorpe. Jellick has come off the left wing to do some work. It's Mark Shipway. Joined the Cowboys as a centre in '97, and the defence there for the Cowboys just not good enough, allowing in 4.2 tries per game on average.
No, that's obviously been a problem for them all season long, and it hasn't been fixed tonight, unfortunately, at this stage.
Green. Hannay has all the skills. Burke chased through, but Taylor was there. He read it well. Lurking just behind that front line, Petherbridge.
Terry, you're talking about the Cowboys' defensive record. What's even more surprising is that Norths are worse this season than the Cowboys, giving away more points, conceding an average of 5 tries a game. That's dreadful from a team like the Bears, contenders for the finals last year.
There it is. 5 tries per game they have conceded. The last 2 weeks have virtually been their best. A week and a half, that should be. A knock-on against the Bears. It'll be a changeover on the final tackle. Butner gets back into the defensive line. Jellick. 5 errors for the Bears, but they've had so much of the ball. They'll have to turnaround. The mark was set. Paul Green is off and racing. He's the major off-season buy. Last year for the Cowboys, Paul Green. Coming off the bench for the Cowboys. Boyd picks out Goldthorpe. Had Peter Jones back on the inside. They go now to Shipway. This is Jeff Bell. The offload for Jellick. Green. Nice quick hands. John Manning. What a struggle, Manning. Forced back 1 metre away from the try line. Play from acting half. Gary Larson was there. Brett Boyd has to play it back. Goldthorpe. Green. Smith. Puts it on the toe. That should be play on. I thought Burke might have been held back. Has been grounded in the end goal. Goal line dropout.
Either way, a great result for the Cowboys. They'll get another set of six at the Bears. You do get the impression that if the Cowboys can score next, they'll get right back into this game. But if the Bears come up with another try at 20-0, it's probably going to be a little bit beyond them.
Yeah, Burke was momentarily held back, but referee Simpkins saw nothing drastic in that and allowed play to go on. That's another set of 6.
The Cowboys playing this game with virtually a first-grade side out of action. You go through the names, it's quite amazing. Lomax, Locke, Hetherington, Buttigieg, Gall, Warren, Nandruku, Ryan, Bowman, Doherty, Valentine, Tassel. All first-grade players, all on the sideline. It's a reserve-grade side they've got out there tonight.
And the Bears have also had their injury concerns. Missing some big names. Try Adam Muir, David Fairley, Brett Dallas, Billy Moore, Willie Lation, Nigel Roy.
And it's fair to point that out, Terry, because that has set back the Bears through the season.
Without a doubt. Missed tackles, far too many for the Cowboys, 9-2. Goldthorpe. The kick for Bell. Bell comes steaming through. Sears juggled it, can't get out of his own end goal. So more pressure coming up. Better play by the Cowboys.
That's okay. That's exactly right. Steamy conditions out there, as we've mentioned. It's important to hang on the ball, complete your sets. The Cowboys have done that on the last 2 occasions, and their reward is another set of 6 at the Bears.
It's that minor juggle, but as Steve mentions, Warren, it is very warm, isn't it? Sticky conditions, and it's round 26. Imagine when they start playing here, the opening round in February 5
It's going
of
to
the
be
year 2000.
It'll be a stinker early next year. The temperature has dropped a bit. It's not too bad, really. It's certainly warmer than Sydney temperatures. The one other factor, there's just a little bit of dew out there tonight. Not like Canberra, but it's just a little bit, as Taylor complains.
No. Both sides in the ruck. What did I tell you before the game? Both sides in the ruck are trying to slow it down, going through the ruck, hands on the ball. No more of it, or we're going to be playing players short, all right? No more of it.
Losing his patience there. We'll have another look at this one. Murphy charging up, and Soden it is that comes over the top. Just, the second guy in there was probably the problem, but probably a little bit harsh when you look at it there.
Yeah, Fitzgerald he had the problem with, who came as the second tackle. Manning. John Manning. Just 3 first-grade games under his belt, but he's having a real dig tonight against the Bears. Nick Patterson. Originally from Toowoomba. Boyd back for Goldthorpe. Green onto the right boot. Chance here. Smith, what a run. His timing was perfect. And Damien Smith gets try number 9 for the year. Courtesy of a beautiful kick by Paul Green.
Yeah, great try to come up with there. What's more pleasing about these tries, let's have a look at it here. Nice switch back across the ruck. Green showing the ball and a perfectly placed little kick, and Chris Tassel straight on for a 4-pointer. Very good to score those sort of tries, because they would have practiced it a lot of times at training this week, and it's always great when you're playing that sometimes you feel like you're practicing things all the time and it's for no reason, but when they come off like that, that's terrific.
Lovely short kick from Paul Green. Good timing on the run from Damien Smith. He always had that in control. Beats Matt Sears to the ball. A A delightful kick by Green, who went to the line, slotted it in safely, got it through without any worries at all. And Smith was always on the fly. Matt Sears has saved them twice, getting across. There's been plenty of pressure from the Cowboys in the last couple of minutes, and they've been building up towards that try.
Yeah, Warren, quite simply. And Steve, they've held on to the ball. They've been able to build up some pressure, and most importantly, they've come up with some points.
That's exactly right. I think that was their third set of 6 of the Bears in their line, and any team is going to struggle defensively with a hold out with that much possession.
Chance here to make it 16 points to 6. Greg Burke, 72% for the year. Former Tiger. And he has struck that very well. The flags are in the air. The Cowboys, they're on the board. It's 16-6, 5 to go in the opening half.
If the kick is good enough, it's very hard to defend against them. This was a good one from Paul Green. Goldthorpe gives it to him, just shows the ball, but he was always going to put the kick in. Scott Featherbridge has to turn and chase. He can't get back. Matt Sears can't get across. Damien Smith on the fly, always had them beaten.
That's right. Those sort of plays, everybody's got to do their job properly, and it's very well executed in that case there.
Yes, that's just a glimpse of the bad mix-up, but it's come off the legs of the Cowboys, and they'll come back. And now the knock-on seems to be a late call.
Obviously got some assistance from his touch judge here. It did look like it was a knock-on.
Brett Boyd was the player who came back, but initially it appeared to be okay. Green was going to take it. It's landed right on the boot there of Nick Patterson.
Yeah, I'm sure Nick Patterson thought that Brett Boyd was going to take it. Paul Green, I'm sorry, there, and he pulled out at the last minute. So after a couple of good sets of 6 from the Cowboys, a little disappointing to finish it like that.
You can trace all tries virtually back to an error from the opposition, and you've been able to do that today in this game. 5-4 the errors now. Goddard slips out of 2 tackles. Jamie Goddard looking to finish the season with a flurry. Taylor to the line, running, 1 to beat, they got him. Quick play the ball, inside ball. Stringer spins out, reaches out.
Double movement.
He just could not resist it.
The Cowboys just hanging on there. A great tackle too earlier from Scott Prince on Jason Taylor to save the try. And one of the Bears obviously isn't happy with that decision.
Stringer, his momentum certainly doesn't take him over.
Very hard to argue against that one.
And the Bears were marched 10 metres for disputing it, but Paul Stringer really cost his side there, because they would have scored in that set. They had the Cowboys backs to the wall.
And Warren, it would have came at a good time also.
Well, 16-6, 10-point lead. It would have looked a lot better if you bring up the 20.
Scotty Prince, one of their major attacking weapons, injured in back play. They need him back into this game. Boyd. Paul Green. Inside ball. Can't get free, John Doyle. Good, strong, powerful run. Back for Green. Goldthorpe. They've got some numbers here, the Cowboys. Prince has made his way back into the attacking line. Goldthorpe, he'll go high and left. Horder took it well.
Yeah, great take under pressure.
Made some good ground to get to that ball, did Wade Horder. Aiken.
Surely on that kick across field from Goldthorpe, it's not unreasonable to expect the Cowboys to have players in the air above Wade Horder. It was a long way across field, a shallow kick. They should have been challenging for that ball.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wanted to get a little bit more depth on it, a little bit more height, and it did come off the side of his boot, but as you say, they're not very effective with no good chases coming through to put pressure on there.
Good kick this one from Soden, rests on touch. And Scotty Prince with a dislocated finger that will probably be popped back in on the bench. It's an advantage when you can have a dummy half kick.
Yeah, a handy little kick here. It was one of those ones where he's just trying to run it down, maybe find the line, or if it doesn't quite reach it, to put some pressure on there and get some good field position. Just trickling over the sideline there, and either way it was a good result for the Bears.
Simpkins dropping a little bit of a shove in the back.
Scott Prince actually has a dislocated thumb. He's going into the dressing room to try and get it right.
Sounds painful. Burke. Greg Burke. Goldthorpe. Longer ball this one. Paul Green. Who set up the only Cowboys try so far in this game for Smith. And a nice little kick. Bell. Jeff Bell, who was under coach Tim Sheens in Canberra in 1994. Now Goldthorpe kicking. Petherbridge took the ball well. He's heading in the wrong direction. Now he straightens up and comes away.
Just 16 seconds to go to half-time. I'm pretty sure the Bears will be keen to just wind the clock down here and go have a drink and cool off.
Anthony Swan. Mark Soden. One of the first halfbacks to turn hooker and play very well at it. Mark Soden playing in his final NRL encounter tonight. The scoreline here at Dairy Farmers, it's the visitors, the North Sydney Bears. They lead by 16 points to 6. We'll take a short break before returning with the second half. Tackles and 7 hit-ups.
That's right, young Nick Patterson gets his chance tonight because of the injuries to a few of the front rows from the Cowboys, and he'd be very happy with that effort at half-time. As you say, 18 tackles and 7 hit-ups, and Gary Larson, I don't know how many times we've seen that name for the work rate, 13 tackles and 9 hit-ups, and he's had another strong match.
Dane Morgan, another youngster out there for the North Sydney Bears, having a good game. 12 tackles and 4 hit-ups. Morrison also very heavily involved in this game so far. The Bears looking to go on with the job now. They lead by 16 points to 6. Referee Simpkins, time on for the second 40 minutes. Would have appreciated the break. A warm night in Townsville. 40 minutes remains. The entire season, the final round of the regular season, being played out here for both these clubs. First time in a long time. The Bears not involved in the final series. 8 seasons, in fact. Boyd.
That's 4. Back it up all the way.
Just short of that halfway line. For Green, who came off the bench in the opening half, but has started the second 40, and he led the chase there. Matt Sears has been elusive.
Hands out, Cowboys, hands out.
Petherbridge.
Come on.
Goddard takes them to the left-hand side.
That's 3, clear him.
Let's go sideline now and Warren Boland.
And I've got Billy Moore with me. Billy, first of all, recovered from that serious illness?
Yeah, mate, I almost recovered. Probably about another month, that the doc said. So unfortunately I couldn't play in the last game, but the boys are going well, so that makes me feel a lot better.
And you're obviously very keen to be here too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's great to be here for the last game of the season and my last game for the Bears. And you know, we've gone well so far. It's been a difficult year for us, but you know, the last couple of weeks we're starting to put our best foot forward.
We've got the bomb coming down, and a chance here for North. There might be one more try.
There is. Gary Larson has taken the ball from the bomb, and the veteran, deservedly so, gets a try in the final game of the year for the Bears. 20 points to 6 now. 2 minutes into the second half, and Gary Larson can afford a smile.
Great to see Gary Larson coming up with the 4-pointer there. As we mentioned at half-time, he's been heavily involved. He follows through, chases on the kick. A great bomb there from Taylor, plenty of height. The Cowboys player, I'm not sure who was knocked back there, Brian Jellick I think it was, and Gary Larson on the spot and come up with 4 points.
Yeah, a high kick from Taylor was a beauty, put plenty of pressure on, and Billy, it gave you a big laugh to see Gary Larson score.
Yeah, Grandad Larson scored. Yeah, great to see, mate. He's a great competitor, and he's one of the finest athletes you'll see, and mate, he's a motivation for everyone in our team.
What did Kieran Dempsey say at half-time?
He was very happy. He wanted us not to get carried away and made sure we keep on doing the simple things well. You know, that's probably the difference of us the last fortnight, is the fact we've been completing our sets, we've been getting good kick chase, just the simple things of the game. We didn't do them early on in the year, but we're certainly doing them now.
And just wait for the conversion, Terry.
Taylor. A chance to skip them to 22 points to 6. And they get the good start they wanted. They lead by 22-6, just 4 minutes gone.
Cowboys 6, North Sydney Bears 22.
Well, there's the challenge for the bomb, as Damien Smith couldn't really get close to it. Ben Eichen was the man who got a hand on it, and Gary Larson comes up with the crumbs and turns on the pace to break out of the tackle. Good try, and a just reward for Gary Larson. We were saying earlier what a great career he's had. Billy, are we seeing North Sydney play for the last time? What do you think?
Unfortunately, I'm none the wiser than you are or anyone else in the game. We really don't know. We know that we're in a desperate battle. There's 3 or 4 clubs' names that have been touted as possible candidates to miss the cut, and we're obviously one of them. I hope it doesn't happen. I honestly believe 16 teams is the right number. Unfortunately, my voice or vote doesn't count, but I hope it doesn't happen. The game needs a side on the Central Coast.
Just quickly, your personal future?
Undecided at the moment, Warren. I hope to decide sometime inside the next month.
Thanks, Billy. As we see a turnover, the Cowboys back in possession.
The Cowboys come away with it. Long ball for Goldthorpe. This is Peter Jones. The offload for Goldthorpe again, shows it back on the inside. Be remiss of me not to wish Billy Moore all the best in his future. He's been a great servant for the North Sydney Bears and also Queensland and Australia. Green shows it, Pensini, Paul Pensini plays it now, 15 away from the try line. Green back to the open side for Goldthorpe. Has players in motion on the outside, takes the tackle. Final tackle now, Green will rush around to the short side. The little kick, and well positioned, they come away with it, the Bears. They read it well, they fumble, and it's play on now for the Cowboys. Great desperation. Matt Sears had a hand in there.
Yeah, scratchy little affair here. We've got, hello, somebody sworn out there, have they?
Sears goes for 10 minutes in the bin. And he's in there for that professional foul. Let's play on for the Cowboys. Sears will have a 10-minute break through the hands of Green and Pensini. Well, they've self-destructed here before our very eyes.
Gee, that's disappointing. A great chance for the Cowboys to get back into the match there. Paulie Pensini, obviously very enthusiastic and eager to head it up hard, but he just overran a little bit, and unfortunately it was a bad mistake. Not much in it, is there? And it's disappointing for him because he's trying hard out there.
Let him go, let him go.
Matt Sears is the player in the bin at the moment, and it is because of this incident.
Release them, release.
Goes in there, flops on the player, and then just the second attempt, then the right hand on the ball that comes free. Referee Simpkins really having no choice there. The Bears have made some good ground there, up over the halfway line now.
Let him go, hands out of there.
Oh, Butner, that ball went backwards for Taylor. Petherbridge stepping, has plenty of pace. Petherbridge, one to beat, can't beat him. Smith made a very good tackle. Quick play the ball. Lost ball is the call. Well, Scott Petherbridge, in his haste to play the ball, has come up with an indiscretion.
I think that might have a little bit to do with the steamy conditions out there. We'll have another look at it. The ball does get slippery. Still got hold of it there, Petherbridge. A little bit hard to see, but as you can see at the end, he's dropped it on the ground, so the Cowboys are off the hook.
And the news from the Cowboys as they make a break through Paul Green.
Green showing good pace and stepping, can't offload. Yes, he can. Doyle goes away. John Doyle, great pace by the big lock forward. And it was Swan who had to come in from left centre and make the tackle. So the Cowboys are showing a bit of fight now. Goldthorpe. Oh, knock on. Butner scoops it up. And if we go back to Dr. Warren Bowler on the sideline.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, Terry, that Scott Prince won't be back because of that dislocated thumb, or at least some part of his hand has been dislocated. The message from Tim Sheens at half-time, it's almost a distant memory now, was to stick to the game plan, which he said had gone out the window after Sears set up the Taylor try. He wanted them to struggle more in the play of the ball, to make more of an effort there, to put pressure on Jason Taylor, but he didn't feel that Norths were doing anything that the Cowboys couldn't handle.
At the moment, both teams having trouble handling the ball, and you're exactly right, Steve Walters. We mentioned the hot, steamy conditions, and this ball, the modern day ball, seems to handle the wet weather conditions okay, but perspiration on the ball seems to be a whole new problem.
That's exactly right, and with all the emphasis these days on getting a quick play of the ball, the guys are always under pressure trying to get to their feet quickly and get the play moving again, and it does lead to a lot of mistakes.
Missed tackle, mounting up 18 for the Cowboys. Which Tim Sheens will be fuming about that. Damien Smith went for the offload, and it goes astray. Horder has it. Fitzgerald, who's impressed me over recent weeks with some of his heavy hitting, had a big game against Melbourne last week. He's one of these youngsters who's been forced to play first grade with so many injury concerns for the Bears. Stringer, 10 first grade games for the year. He plays it back 5 short of the halfway. Taylor, inside ball for Trindle. Taylor starting to call the shots now. He's on the left-hand side of the park. Showed it on the inside, then gave it to Morrison on the outside. Final tackle. Petherbridge kicking. Icon steaming through. Jellick took it well. And he skips out of one. We saw him go 95 metres against Melbourne. Can he do it again? They get him after 45. Great effort, though.
He's certainly turned into a crowd favourite up here, Brian Jellick. Been a real find for the Cowboys this year. As you said, scored that great try, and he looked threatening on that occasion again.
8 tries from 17 games. That's a good strike rate. That completion rate not getting any better. The North Queensland Cowboys. Peter Jones flings it out the back. Nick Patterson had a good opening 40 minutes for the Cowboys. Got through a lot of work. Now Paul Green takes it to the line. Smith got around one. Icon came back. The ball went backwards. Michael Butner comes away with it. Well, at the moment, it appears a crime if you get through a set of 6 and complete that for the Cowboys.
Warren, with the injury to young Scott Prince, Paul Green's obviously going to get a little bit more time on the field than what he's had previously. It's a good chance for him to get a bit of football under his belt tonight.
Well, back to the combination that played there in half and 5/8 for most of the season, Green and Goldthorpe. The Green will be enjoying it.
Exactly right. Signed a long-term contract with the Cowboys. This is his first year. It's been a disappointing one. Michael Butner. Butner again with pace. They only just got him. Final tackle, 22-6. Taylor kicks into the in goal. Well placed. Damien Smith plays at it. And he was taken out, a player, North Sydney player. And that means Damien Smith has conceded a penalty.
Yeah, I'd like to have another look at this. Obviously the referee's ruled he's got a little bit of illegal assistance from his defenders there.
Well, there's
Catches the ball okay, no problem there. Oh yeah, just a straight out Shepherd. Can't argue too much about that one.
The first tackle again. The Cowboys give it back to the Bears and puts the Bears well and truly right on the attack now. Inside ball, Stringer is full.